time. Terrific to see Darryl Baldock break through for a win after 11 straight losses. Well, without further ado, we go to the match at Kardinia Park between Geelong and North Melbourne. The Cats, of course, last week over in Perth had their biggest loss for the season, and North Melbourne had beaten them in the first round. Mark Arceri was supposed to have returned for North, but he was a last-minute withdrawal, replaced by Jason Love. Well, Geelong fought to win by 4 points, or lead by 4 points at quarter time. We pick it up in the second quarter with about 10 minutes remaining to half-time, and the Cats at this stage lead by 9 points. With me in the commentary position are Bernie Quinlan and Ian Robertson. Back with umpire Dennis Rich in the middle, and Flanagan murdering him in the ruck. Comes down to Buse. Cameron in front. Punch from behind. Ball comes down to McDonald. His hand pass is blocked. Gary Hocking takes one high. Umpire said the ball's held in there. He's going to ball it up.
Oh, I think Peter German's heart was in his mouth.
This is down there when Hocking just coming up from picking up the ball when German applied that tackle.
Flanagan hands to it again. Schwass kick smothered. Comes to Scott. Loses it in the tackle. Great desperation, Cameron. Well, Bruns missed it. Tunnels it out. Intercepted by Steele. The umpire might have... He's going to ball that up back here. It was costly for North Melbourne because Steele's kick's gone up the ground about 50 metres.
It's a bit of a strange one there, usually when the ball does find its way free, but I guess the umpire, with his whistle in his mouth, really couldn't stop. 9 points, Geelong's lead. The bounce right on the corner of the centre square in Geelong's attacking half. Scott running onto it, couldn't really take the ball with him. German can, and around his body, Peter German kicks it towards centre wing. Clean bowls Bruns. Now a chance for Ramiro, who's done pretty well. His kicking is letting him down a little bit. This is not a bad left foot kick by Jose Ramiro. Up towards half forward, Fairley, favoured by the bounce. Fairley as he kicked goal number 4. It looks okay from here, yes.
He's doing a good job at centre half forward too. Ian Fairley, 3 goals in the first quarter, playing on Billy Brownless. And I think that Geelong defence would be causing Malcolm Blight a few worries. Billy Brownless, I don't think he is a centre half back. I did like the Geelong set up earlier in the season with Schulz at centre half back and Darcy at full back. I think Brownless is better on the forward line.
After a 5 or 6 minute shower, the rain has stopped, the sun shining brightly. And not much in this now, just 3 points. Hughes, with strength, breaks a couple of tackles. Long to centre half forward. Lindner. McCarthy beats him for the punch. Comes to Bruns. On the left boot. Puts it wide. Exel thrusts at it. Can't mark. Romero over his head. It comes to Hughes again. Keeps it low on the chest of Couch. Plays on. Blazes and misses Paul Couch.
Magnificent play there from Andrew Buse. Worked very hard out of the centre. Won the ball with strength and then ran on into that forward line to provide assistance.
German kicks the ball into this member's side, looking out here for Bryce, who's made pretty good position, and he takes the mark at half back, looking perhaps to give the hand pass. Now goes back and kicks a nice looking drop punt kick too towards centre wing, and look at that, as easy as you like. The champion takes the mark, Gary Ablett on centre wing. Ablett just gets a little close to kick it on the mark and kicks it high towards half forward. Oh, good play by Gary Hocking. He's dispossessed pretty well, though, by McCarthy. Now Steele. Schwass. Off it goes to Larkin. Larkin short kick out towards Kickett. Brownless. Handball. Ablett running through. One bounce. Ablett. Oh, nearly tackled. He was by Bryce, but he gets the kick away towards full forward. In that forward pocket. A real struggle now. Flanagan. Oh, the ball comes to Gary Cameron. He can't break away. Desperation stuff there by the North Melbourne defence, and they hold it in. Umpire will be forced to bounce.
Looks like a throw there from Lindner. Very slick hand pass. Beat the eye, I think, that one.
Yeah, lightning. Flanagan clean possession and a snap for goal which misses. But hasn't he dominated the rucks? Geelong winning 22-9 hit-outs. And he has a chance to perhaps play in a premiership team. Big chance for a grand final anyway. Not bad for a bloke who retired earlier in the season. Peter German towards the outer side. Schwass stays down. McDonald has the ball punched away. Have to dash back in defence for this. Bairstow's there for Geelong, but couldn't keep it in.
Just under 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Boundary throw in on the 50-metre line. Flanagan and Bryce. And a hard man to get over the top of Flanagan if you let him get in front. Larkin just tries to kick it to himself. Oh, crash goes young Stevens. And the umpire's picked out a free kick. I couldn't see what that was for.
He paid it to Bruns, has he?
Well, it's going to Geelong. It must have been a hand pass after the free kick was given, but it was so quick that maybe the player didn't appreciate what he had to do. Still, they're professional footballers. McDonald diving, couldn't control the football. Comes to Larkin. Larkin up towards centre wing, trying to get past Couch. Now he's forced to kick high towards centre half forward. It goes to the back. Sweeping on it is Fairley. He gets the hand pass back to Pickering. Here's German. Through centre half forward goes Peter German and kicks the goal.
And that goal's put North Melbourne in front by a point. So they're proving very hard to shake off as Damien Burke comes back on the ground. And I think Malcolm Blight with a few worries at the moment. North Melbourne doing it far too easily up on that forward line. German running through centre half forward there. No pressure at all being applied by the Geelong defenders. And once they get their running game going, they're fairly hard to stop, North Melbourne.
Peter German kicked in from the Geelong behind.
North Melbourne have kicked the last 3 goals to hit the front. Burke on the ground now, as is usual, at about the 20-minute mark. Larkin, a great hand pass to Schwass. Long to full forward. Longmire is down there. Schulz misses with the punch. It comes to the back to Darcy. And he's happy to run it through for a behind. Hepburn coming back onto the ground to replace Paul Bryce. So Bryce had a run for about 15 minutes in the second quarter. Kick in by Tim Darcy. Margin 8 points. Excellent mark out there to Burke, just on the ground. Off to Morgan. In a hurry, had to get rid of it. Trouble for Bairstow. Flipped out of there by Schwass. Comes to German. North lifting their game. Longmire. Spoiled by Schulz. There's a free kick. Defender held out of it. And Tim Darcy with the free.
Looks as though it may have gone against Darren Crocker, who was expressing a bit of disappointment with the decision. The ball finishes with Bairstow at half-back. His kick towards centre wing. Ablett. Oh, great play by David Dwyer, but look at the bounce of the ball there favouring Scott. His hand pass into the centre. Here's Gary Cameron. Gary Cameron up towards full forward. A nice-looking drop punt kick. Exel finishes with Buse, and Buse kicks a magnificent goal for the Cats.
There's good driving there by Andrew Buse. Also good work from Gary Cameron. I thought David Dwyer may have been a little bit unfortunate not to get that free kick. Showed tremendous courage on the wing, diving on the ball, and a Geelong player then falling over the top of him, but the umpire didn't see it that way. Taken down in that Geelong forward line. Buse, a tremendous player for Geelong.
Burke in the ruck to give Flanagan a bit of a rest. I think if I was Darren Flanagan, I'd be wanting to get as much ruck play as I could. Couch out to Bruns. Bruns' left foot kick. Exel being paid. And he gets up off the ground a little disgusted with Johnny Law's treatment. But Exel has the ball about 45 metres from goal. It was a pretty good mark in the finish.
Yes, good lead there by Exel.
And Exel, who was already kicked 3. Great drop punt kick. He's now kicked 4.
Yes, here's a beautiful kick for goal, Gavin Exel. Had a fairly good season, even though he spent a few weeks in the reserves. That's 4 goals today for a season's total of 58. To be Geelong's leading goal kicker. There's a left foot kick by Bruns. And it's good to see a forward leading the way Exel does. He's committed on those leads. Look at that kick for goal from the 50-metre line. Made it easily. 10 metres to spare.
Sometimes you get the feeling that the Cats take their foot off the accelerator, and every now and again the panic button is pushed and away they go. They've kicked the last two and they lead by 10 points. Advantage rule is paid. Gary Cameron's kicking towards the half-forward area. Ablett crashing his way through, can't take the football with him. Dwyer's kick back into the centre, and the mark has been taken by Hepburn. He hand passes wide. Ross Smith from a standing start kicks it towards centre half forward. There's no one home there for North Melbourne, and a good mark taken by Brownless at centre half back for the Cats.
Taken a couple of marks. He specialised in hand passing. Punch down to the front. McCarthy puts it wide for Steele. Steele to half forward. Knocked out of there by Boss. Comes to German. Down goes Darcy. The ball goes out of play and we'll have a boundary throw in. Because I've had the feeling a few times that Geelong, anytime they want to, can really step on the gas and get away. But, well, North Melbourne have hit the front in the first quarter and in the second quarter. Different times when it looks as though they might be getting out of their depth. Hand pass by Brownless, intercepted by his opponent Fairley, but Fairley's kick marked by Stephen Hocking. Gets the hand pass away. Any amount of Geelong players. Couch takes it. His left footer is brilliant. Ablett's down there at half forward. Dwyer got a hand to it, which was important. Ablett comes out with it. The hand pass to Scott. Robert Scott for goal. Great football.
You're looking sharp, you're looking good, you've come so far, and we know how to make the most of who you are. Where the race is run, you're the champion.
Gillette Contour Plus with lubricating strip for the best a man can get.
The best a man can get.
Hey, that was it. Never thought you'd get rid of your old bus.
Yeah, well, it was all right till you had to carry something. But I'll tell you what, mate. Bit of guts under the bonnet doesn't go astray.
Eh? Oh, much of a muchness these days.
Don't you believe it?
Be with you in a sec.
Okay.
You must be doing all right then.
If I charged like you, I'd be doing a lot better.
So, you happy with it?
What do you reckon?
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks. No, let me. Waiter, drinks all round.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
Get into it! Get into it! Get onto it! Get into it!
Be on the ball. Get behind your team and wear the official licensed VFL supporters gear. The complete range is now available at your game. Get into your team colours at the game shop and show your true colours. Look for the game shop marquee at your game and get right into it.
Nobody knows Melbourne like 790 News knows Melbourne.
My time is very precious, so I need a news service that's concise and to the point.
You get the feeling that Sandy, Landy and Drew love their sport as much as we do.
I think credibility is very important, but so is innovation.
Nobody knows Melbourne like 7.
A tight first half. North hit the front a couple of times. It was just 3 goals late in the second quarter that saw the Cats lead by 17 points at half-time. We pick up the replay again at the start of the second half, the opening bounce. Umpire John Russo starting the second half. Geelong leading by 17 points. Hepburn wins a rare one in the ruck. It comes down to Pickering. The kick to half forward. Romero inside 50. Darcy charging at it. Well, he and Boss nearly mucked it up. Darcy back to Boss. Wide to Brownless. Round the corner. Ablett on the wing. Knocked over by Dwyer, and Dwyer's given away the free, grabbing Ablett when he didn't have it. Gary Ablett, 3 goals from the wing in the first half. His kick to half forward. McDonald with Stoneham. Stoneham clever to Bairstow. Bairstow's had the fumbles a bit today. From the 50-metre line. The kick up high. Exel. Law got to the front. Lindner on the turn. Beats 1, beats 2. Snaps for goal. In the goal square is Scott. But the punch away comes from Smith into the behind post and will have a throw in. So Geelong quickly into attack to start the second half. Bright sunshine after we had a spell of rain in the second quarter. Flanagan's done a great job. Clean possession. Snap for goal. Offline. And it bounces out of bounds for a throw in. So still Geelong with a chance. They lead 10-9 to 8 goals 4. Once again, Flanagan knocks it towards goal, but out of bounds again for our third boundary throw-in next to the behind post in the space of a minute. Hepburn and Flanagan. Hepburn up high, helped on by Smith, but it goes to Lindner. Dodges, weaves, goes back with a hand pass. Bruns from 45 metres. Might make it. Shepherded through by Exel for a goal.
Good start to Geelong. North Melbourne needed to get into this game early in this third quarter if they would have a chance. Lindner looked like he should have been caught red hot there. A bad tackle applied by North Melbourne. And Lindner was able to get that hand pass away to Bruns. But North Melbourne should have done better there in defence. Just didn't apply that tackle properly.
Good start to the second half by the Cats. Punch forward by Hepburn. Now the kick by Brownless. Towards half forward, a good mark taken by Bairstow, about 55 metres from goal. Players seem to be kicking longer distances down to this left-hand end of Kardinia Park. And Bairstow, a little undecided. This ball holds up to the front of the square. Exel can't mark. Stoneham, snap across his body is brilliant.
Yeah, it's great play there by Barry Stoneham. Tall, mobile player, playing at centre-half forward. He's a very good hind mark, an excellent ground player, and has great mobility for a player of his size.
And Bernie, one of the most improved players, particularly in the last 12 months in the competition.
Without doubt. Without doubt, he'd be vying now at centre-half forward to be one of the better centre-half forwards in the competition.
Well, they've ripped into North Melbourne to start this third quarter and have a big break now, 81-52. Gary Hocking was tripped, said the umpire, and he'll take the free kick. So everything going Geelong's way at the moment. 12-9 to 8 goals 4. North badly needed the first goal or two this quarter, but they've gone the other way. Quite firm in the centre. Hocking. Out to half-forward flank. Lindner with a break and outmarks McCarthy. And Bruce Lindner, goalless so far. This distance probably test him too much. Oh, what a kick! Just floated away to the right at the end. Brings up a behind. Distance was never a bother.
He kicked that a mile, Bruce Lindner. Now well on top of John McCarthy, who's only had 4 possessions for the day.
Johnny Law. North Melbourne defence under lots of pressure the early part of this third quarter. Again, here's another chance. Gary Cameron. Left foot kick, swings with the breeze. Another goal to Geelong.
Where do millions of jets, helicopters, planes, trains and trucks go when they're low on fuel? The same place you do. BP. BP, on the move.
I don't know, Jono. Have a look at this. Car's got a whole computer system that actually tells you what's wrong with it. And those backyard boys, I think it's just a question of changing a couple of these, I don't know. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you better look at the distributor cap. Could be cracked. It's probably non-genuine too.
Yeah, doing that.
Commodore's all finished. Have a listen to this.
Love it.
If you're in business, you want advertising that works. Melbourne Big Survey phones are monitoring results in businesses like Custom Tone Kitchens, whose results were immediate. Over 100 calls in 76 days. Paul Agnew placed ads in 2 classifications and says they've performed well beyond expectations. Over 30 calls a week. Is it any wonder Mike Scott calls the Melbourne Big the blue chip directory? Make sure that Melbourne Big is working for your business. Phone right now on 6464 666.
Near the gateway to one of the world's most famous harbours is one of the world's most famous fish restaurants, Doyle's. Here they serve only the freshest fish and seafood. But whether you pick the finest John Dory, a succulent charcoal-grilled lobster, or the legendary seafood platter, make sure you have plenty of time and your Visa card, because you can't rush eating at Doyle's, and you can't pay with American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
The Sunday Sun Plus. On the eve of the 50th anniversary of World War II, we remember the Australian men who volunteered first and the women of war.
Plus, the Sunday Sun looks at the sensational Bob Dylan biography that explores his life, his women, his music. Plus, in the free TV magazine, a pin-up of Colette.
Plus, top sports coverage includes our Magic Marks competition with big weekly prizes. The Sunday Sun.
It's everything you love about the Sun Plus.
Tonight, Only Human goes outback with a very different country practice.
The Royal Flying Doctor can be there in a matter of minutes.
And to Paris, can we eat as much as we like and still stay slim?
We don't care about calories.
To snoring.
This can be a major factor in marriage breakup.
Is there now a cure?
I just want to be like everyone else.
An Australian world first gives this boy's dream a chance. And teenage sexuality, an awkward awakening. Only Human, 7:30 tonight on 7.
So the bounce back in the centre, 36 points, Geelong's lead. Flanagan, who dominated the ruck contests in the first half, a struggle at centre half forward for North Melbourne. Young Stevens, but Boss is there, the experienced campaigner, and Boss goes after it again. Never gives in, Mark Boss. The hand pass off to Gary Cameron. His kick up towards half forward. Stoneham can't rake it in. Buse never gives in either, Andrew Buse. Couch gets another possession. Gary Cameron pulled off the ball. Now a chance for Allison. His kick towards the centre wing area, and the mark has been taken by Ramiro. North Melbourne are a chance here. They've got players loose across half forward. The hand pass goes to Larkin. Into goal goes Matthew Larkin and misses to the right. An unfortunate miss to North Melbourne. They certainly needed a score there, as Gary Cameron is in the hands of the trainers for Geelong, back on that half forward flank. The kick in comes towards Flanagan. He gets the hand pass back to Boss. Boss, hand pass over the top. The bounce is a little awkward for Flanagan. And Schwass takes it over for a boundary throw in. There's Gary Cameron favouring his left leg. Looks as though he may have got a knock on the side of the knee.
Throw in. Ball comes underfoot. Stephen Hocking going backwards. Forward by Smith. Kick it. Spills to Smith. The defender goes for goal and kicks it.
Magnificent goal there by Smith. And the defender running up on that forward line, following the play down there. A badly needed goal for North Melbourne. I see they've made a change. Pickering appears to be playing on Paul Couch in the centre, and Larkin's been moved up on that forward line. So obviously John Kennedy very worried about the influence of Paul Couch on this game.
Bryce on the ground for North Melbourne. Back in the centre. And North need a couple more. Flanagan's played an outstanding game in the ruck. Bairstow across the ground. Gary Hocking leads the race here. Smith's back on his half-back flank, and he'd come up from there to kick that last goal. Hocking to centre half forward. Ablett. Oh, 3 grabs a mark.
See, that was another magnificent kick by Gary Hocking on his wrong foot. Must have gone 50 metres, Bernie.
Very skillful inside Geelong when they are allowed to dictate terms. There's Gary Ablett with a great juggled mark there.
Gary Cameron limping off for Geelong. We're about to see Andrew Rogers for the first time. Ablett for his 4th goal from the wing. No problem.
Well, Gary Ablett, a brilliant player. Tough job there for David Dwyer picking up Gary Ablett. He's done a reasonable job on him. Well, here's Ablett just in better position there. Beautifully delivered ball into that Geelong forward line. And they've got so many skillful players that it makes it very difficult for the North Melbourne defenders.
So the Cats now are certainly getting some sort of cohesion into their play. They get clear again. Buse straight towards goal. Oh, Ablett nearly hooked it in, but he's hurt. Down he goes behind play. Now he picks himself up. Buse has the football outside 50 off to Bairstow, and Bairstow goes long with the drop punt kick into the square. Nearly a Geelong mark. North Melbourne get clear. Ellison takes the hand pass from McDonald. It's wide on this centre wing. McCarthy, one bounce, the ball just comes back to him, and McCarthy kicks the ball towards centre half forward, but there's no one home. Darcy takes the ball away for Geelong and kicks it wide where Bruns has 15 metres on Crocker, but the ball bounces out in front of Neville Bruns and over the boundary line for a throw-in. Gary Ablett just having a look there behind play, has recovered from that knock where he had to back into the pack, and he looks okay. The ball finishes with Couch. His kick into the centre. Flanagan takes the mark. Geelong have the numbers again. Scott's on his own at half forward. That's the direction that Flanagan goes in. Scott can't mark. He gathers the football well. Gets the hand pass off to Stoneham. Stoneham onto the left foot. The little chip pass into the pocket is pretty good. And Gary Hocking takes the mark, sliding over the boundary line. Gary Hocking is perhaps within goal-scoring distance, but the angle is very tight. A little bit of indecision there, but now he's made up his mind to go for goal. Drop punt kick. Hits the post. So Gary Hocking, who is yet to kick a goal, registers the 11th behind for Geelong. 14-11 plays 9-5, and John Law will kick the ball back into play for North Melbourne.
Kick by Law. Hepburn front of the pack. Romero. Gee, North under the hammer at the moment. The ball out of play. And straight away back up onto the attacking zone for the Cats. They lead 14-11 to 9-5. Under 17 minutes left in the third quarter. Flanagan wins again. Puts it out in front of Bairstow. Good desperation dive by Romero. The ball's finished up out of play. Another throw-in. Jose Romero, a youngster in this North Melbourne team. They have 3 18-year-olds. Longmire, Romero and Stevens. Flanagan hands to it again. Comes away to Allison. Romero once more. To half-back. McCarthy leads. Beats Limner. Back to Steele. Up to centre wing. Schwass and Boss. Interesting pairing. The hand pass comes over to Wayne Schwass. Couch has got it. A little hand pass to Stephen Hocking is terrific. Hocking beats his man and goes long to half forward. Ablett. Well, Dwyer just got straight underneath the ball then. Gary Ablett to work the ball forward. Bryce gets back to take a defensive mark.
Poor effort there by Ablett. Bryce kicks wide. Crocker takes the mark in front of Bruns. And North Melbourne have made some wholesale changes. The high kick is too high. Getting that knock out there was Stoneham. Stoneham's left foot kick towards centre half forward, and another good mark taken by Bryce at centre half back for North Melbourne. At North Melbourne, you get the impression that the dam wall, there's a crack in it, and Geelong just pressing ever so hard They lead by 6 goals. The kick back towards centre-half forward. Flanagan can't mark. Taking the ball off the pack was German. He gets the hand pass away to Smith. Smith's kick up towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Good gather by McCarthy. Gets the hand pass out wide. The North Melbourne forward under lots of pressure there, young Pickering. Now it gets clear. Swash left it behind, and Geelong will get clear. The hand pass from Boss finishes up with Couch. Couch on centre wing. Drop punt kick to the front of the goal square. It's disciplined football by Geelong. Buse, magnificent play by Buse.
Touch. Well, that was bad luck for Andrew Buse, because what great strength he has, breaking away from the North Melbourne defenders, using his strength again. They just don't seem to be able to tag him at all.
Kick in by Law, a player on his own out there is Darren Crocker. He takes the mark and hand passes over the top. McDonald has the football on centre wing, and he goes up towards centre half forward with a long drop punt. North Melbourne forwards under pressure again, working hard. Bryce comes clear with the football. A left foot kick by Bryce towards goal. It's offline and it's out of bounds on the full. So the free kick, I thought the goal umpire did indicate that it was out of bounds on the full, but the boundary umpire now running around to throw the ball back into play about 15 metres around from the North Melbourne goal.
Geelong leading by 37 points. Brownless wins the tap. Gary Hocking, always where it's hardest. Snap for goal by Love, was it? And a behind. Jason Love, who was an emergency, but came in to replace Mark Arsieri. Kick in is taken by Schultz. Space for Rogers. Rogers up to the wing. Boss. A poor kick by Rogers, marked by Steele. The hand pass off to German. Goal coming up to North Melbourne here. Peter German. It swings back and gets there.
Australia are proud to announce the new Holden Apollo, a whole new range of family sedans and wagons with all new 2-litre twin-cam engines. New Holden Apollo. See them at your Holden dealer now.
Different specialist careers in the Army, and you could have one of them. Army, it'll bring out your best.
The perfect Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
This week in the Sunday Herald Colour magazine, the world's endangered animals pictured for posterity. A spectacular portfolio. Wonderful photographs you'll want to keep.
The perfect Sunday.
And in the Perfect Sunday newspaper, Quiet Country Boy or Crazy Man of Football, the real Tony Lockett tells all. Our man on the spot reports from the Olympic meeting in Puerto Rico, rock star Ignatius Jones' hilarious review of Andy Warhol.
Perfect Sunday with the Sunday Herald.
Quality in every drop since 1866. The very best an oil can be, so come and join the winning team. Valvoline, tomorrow's oils today. You know what I mean. Tomorrow's oils today. Valvoline. It's the choice of champions, keeps your engine running clean. So use the Grace Protector. The choice is Valvoline. Valvoline, tomorrow's oils today. You know what I mean. Tomorrow's oils today. Valvoline.
Buy a 5-litre bottle of Valvoline XLD at any of these stores and you could become an oil millionaire. If you want an aftershave that's a winner, go for Gold. Yardley Gold. The aftershave for men who like to win. Yardley Gold.
Diane Lane is Lorena Woods.
You and me.
Every cowboy's fantasy.
Anybody pretty as her wind up in Lonesome Dove anyway.
She gave her body to any man who promised her dream.
I'm going with you when you leave.
I ain't gonna run up and leave you, Laurie.
I just want to go to
San Francisco. That's what I want.
But she gave her heart to the one man she could never possess.
There's none like you, Gus. She loves you. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose you.
Her story begins soon on Lonesome Dove.
12 plays 10-6. Flanagan again, who has absolutely dominated the rucks. Couch. Steele for North Melbourne. A left foot kick around the corner. The bounce in the very, very hard centre of Kardinia Park. The ball comes back to Schwash. Oh, magnificent play, Schwash. Sweeping hand pass. The ball is with Fairley. Within 35, within 30, Fairley kicks the goal, or did it just graze the post? It's just grazed the post, and Fairley really should have kicked that, Bernie.
Oh, that's a bad miss there by Fairley. His first miss for the afternoon. He's kicked 4 goals in the first half, and now a golden opportunity just gone begging there for North Melbourne.
Burke on the ground a bit earlier this time, before the 20-minute mark. And here he is in this marking contest and takes the mark. Getting rid of Paul Bryce. Kicked by Damien Burke. High to the centre of the ground. McDonald and Stoneham. Stoneham knocks to the back. Chance for Couch. Crash straight through. Good endeavour there by Law, it was. The hand pass, or a chain of hand passes, Law. Romero at centre half forward. Won't make the distance. One out marking contest. Punch away comes from the fence by Darcy. Longmire into Larkin. Snapped by German. German second. Second this quarter, third for the match.
Yes, Peter German, been a very busy player. Started off tagging Mark Bairstow. Has gone up on that forward line following the play and has kicked a couple of goals in this quarter, 3 for the match. Now, there's a quick hand pass by Longmire, getting it out to German, who's been a very busy player for North Melbourne.
Bernie, with a good tall ruckman at centre bounces and a key forward, North Melbourne would be a pretty good side, don't you think?
Yeah, they're not that far away, North Melbourne. They don't need too many good players, and they'd be a force to be reckoned with.
23 points, Geelong's lead. Buse, every so often, Andrew Buse just pushes himself a little bit, and he kicks towards half forward. The mark has been taken by Bruns. Geelong have the answers. Very, very skillful lineup, Geelong. Lots of goal kickers. Lots of possession gatherers around that centre bounce. Bruns' kick off the side. It's a Geelong mark. No, it's gone over the boundary line on the full. Gary Hocking took the mark, but the free kick will go back to North Melbourne. It'll be taken by Allison in that back pocket. And North Melbourne have been able to fight back in the first and second terms. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this third quarter. The mark has been taken by Stoneham. Too far out to score, Barry Stoneham. But once again, kicks it to the front of the goal square, where the goals have got to be easier to kick from. Dwyer, Lindner, caught with the football, gets it out. Steele shows desperation, gets the hand pass back to German. German's caught, but he gets the hand pass out. Law, Gary Hocking, good tough stuff by the Geelong player. And at centre half forward, the umpire calls for a bounce. The Cat fans not too happy. Obviously saw a free kick maybe to Gary Hocking.
Margin 23 points. North have kicked the last couple of goals. Soccer off the ground by Burke. Exel. Hand pass anywhere. Taken by McDonald. And he goes towards the boundary line and finds touch on the outer side between half-back and wing for a throw-in. So in the first quarter, it was Geelong were getting away, but North hit the front. Same thing happened in the second quarter. I wonder if it can happen in the third quarter after the Cats opened up a 6-goal lead. Bairstow goes to ground. No whistle for that. And the umpire's going to ball it up. Pat on the head for Anthony Stevens, the youngster, 18 years old, playing just his 3rd game of league football. Burke. Hepburn came over the top of him. Morgan. Took a while to get rid of it. The hand pass out here from Pickering. Goes to Hepburn, back to Larkin. And here's North Melbourne on the improve. Centering kick. Big chance. Allison's there. Taken by Steele. Spins through a tackle. Gets rid of a good hand pass. The kick up towards full forward. Love is there. Open goal in front of. He can pick this up. Snap. and he's hit the post.
That's the second time in the last, 3 or 4 minutes that North Melbourne have hit the post. And Love, perhaps not enough vision there.
Well, possibly, but maybe he could have done better with that kick. He had a little bit of time to steady and could have done better.
Schultz goes to the outer side, and the North Melbourne player diving there has touched the ball. And it looked as though it could have been Ramiro. So the ball will stay in that North Melbourne half-forward area. It was Stevens, actually. German's hand passes intercepted. Pickering just gets a kick to it. Good play there by German. Now Fairley gets it out to Larkin. Larkin's deep in the pocket. The left foot snap, and the mark has been taken by Darcy. Geelong have got the numbers out at half-back. The mark has been taken by Boss. Schwass a little late on the scene, and Bernie, you're indicating maybe that should have been 50 metres?
No, I wasn't. I was indicating Schwass is playing on the half-forward line. I'd like to see him playing in the centre or on the ball, where he's a very productive player.
Great mark taken by Burke. He gets the hand pass off to Couch. Couch kicks. That's his 31st possession, Paul Couch, up towards half-forward. Ablett, attempted kick off the ground. The ball rebounds to Gary Hocking. Hocking kicks it up to the goal square. Exel nearly takes the mark. Here's a goal to Scott.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1989 Premiership season.
Well, Geelong led by 32 points at three-quarter time. They had to fight off North Melbourne a bit in the last quarter, but they ran out winners by 22. Exel kicked 5 goals and Ablett kicked 5. And for North Melbourne, Fairley kicked 4. German and Longmire each kicked 3 goals. Now to the results of the other games. Fitzroy and Brisbane, and the Bears have won their second game in a row, defeating Fitzroy and certainly ending their finals hopes. They won by just 13 points after leading by 51 points at three-quarter time and allowing Fitzroy to kick 6 goals to nothing in the last quarter. Hardy kicked 3, as did Taylor, and for Fitzroy, Roos, Lynch, Broderick and Strooper each kicked 2 goals. And Collingwood against Richmond. Collingwood had a big win here. Starcevic kicked 3 goals. For Richmond, Ryan kicked 2. Richmond most disappointing. They've kicked just 7 goals in the last 2 weeks. And to the final game, and Hawthorn and Footscray, the Hawks won it by 75 points. They led all day and just increased the margin. Jason Dunstall kicked 9 goals today, a total of 117 for the season. Brereton kicked 4, and for Footscray, O'Keefe kicked 3, and Atkins kicked 2 goals. Now to the league ladder with 1 round to go to complete the home and away series, and Hawthorn way on top again by 2 games from Essendon. Geelong in 3rd place, having wrapped up the double chance. Melbourne and Collingwood will be playing in the elimination final in a couple of weeks' time, and Fitzroy are out of business.